Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about morphology in detail and it will provide you complete guide on the topic. So let's discuss what are the topics that are going to be covered in this video. What is morphology? Morphology versus phonology and syntax. History of morphology. What is morpheme? Types of morpheme. Categories of free and bound morpheme. How to do morphological analysis and importance of studying morphology. So let's get started. What is morphology? It is the study of structure of words and the rules of word formation. Morphology is the branch or a level of linguistics that studies the formation of words and their internal structure. And how morphology is different from phonology? Both are two different branches of linguistics. Phonology is the study of sounds and sound systems in language. Morphology mainly deals with the words in a language. Both are fundamental and are studied in depth to understand the functioning of a language. Morphology focuses on the words and grammar, while phonology focuses on the sounds and the words. Morphology versus syntax. Morphology studies the internal structure of words and their meaningful parts. Syntax studies how words, phrases, and clauses are structured to form complex sentences. So, morphology is all about structure of words, while syntax is all about structure and development of sentences. The next level to morphology is actually syntax. History of morphology. It dates back to 6th century BC when an ancient Indian linguist Panini formulated 3959 rules of Sanskrit language. There were also studies in Arabic morphology by Mara al-Arwa and Ahmad B. Ali Masood in 1200 CE. The origin of morphology, the etymology. The word morphology came from Greek word morph, which means shape or form. So morphology is the philosophy or logos of shape or form. What is morpheme? It is the minimal unit of meaning that has a meaning and cannot be subdivided. A morpheme is the smallest grammatical unit of the language, just like in phonology we have phoneme, the smallest unit of sound. Let's see some examples. We divide the words into certain morphemes and they should be meaningful, like disagreement, dis, agree, and meant. This word has 3 morphemes: prefix, stem, and suffix. And all of them are conveying some meaning. Let's take another example, that is favorable. So favor is the stem and we have added able as suffix, so that makes it a word that is having 2 morphemes. But when we see another example, that is book, it cannot be further divided. So we see that this word has just 1 morpheme. Something more about morphemes. We have affixes that are added before and after the root words, and there are 3 types of affixes: prefix, infix, and suffix. Number 1, prefix. When an affix is added before the root word, it is called prefix, like misuse, incomplete, antibiotic, or recent. Miss, in, anti, and re are the prefixes. Infixes are rare in English language. They are inserted inside a word stem to create a new word or intensify the meaning. Suffixes are that are added after the root word. It is called a suffix. Treatment, careless, beautiful, full, less, and meant are the suffixes. Stems, they are the base or the lexical center of words. Usually they are free morphemes like incomplete, unwell, and abuse. So the bold version words use, well, and complete are the stems, and we have added prefixes with them. So we see here clearly that affixes have 3 parts: prefix, infix, and suffix. And as I said earlier, infixes are rare in English language. Okay, coming to the main part. Types of morpheme. Broadly speaking, morphemes are divided into 2 parts or 2 kinds: free morphemes and bound morphemes. And then they are further divided into their own categories. See this diagram. Free morpheme have lexical and functional categories, and bound morphemes have derivational and inflectional categories. Now, we are going to discuss all of them in detail one by one along with examples. So number 1 is free morpheme. As the name shows, they have the meaning of their own and they can also stand alone. The free morphemes can generally be identified as a set of separate English words forms such as nouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions, articles, and etc. Let's see some examples. Bring, on, phone, cat, them, free, table, out, the, over, cause, cross. All these words, they are free morphemes and they can exist alone. They don't need any prefix to give complete meaning. Okay, free morphemes have two categories or types: lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. Number one is lexical morpheme, taken from the word lexeme. They are ordinary nouns, adjectives, and verbs that carry the content of the message. Boy, man, file, tiger, sad. We can add new lexical morphemes to the language rather easily, so they are called as an open class of words. But in comparison to that, we have functional morphemes. They are actually the function words, such as conjunctions, prepositions, articles, and pronouns. For example, and, but, when, because, on, near, above. We almost never add new functional morphemes to the language. They are described as closed class of words. Now the next broader category, bound morpheme, as the name says, they cannot stand alone and must be attached to other morphemes. For example, un and ish are bound morpheme because they cannot stand alone. Two categories of bound morpheme, derivational morpheme and inflectional morphemes. Number one, derivational morphemes. We use these bound morphemes to make new words or words of a different grammatical category from the stem. Focus on the word that I have written in blue color. The addition of the derivational morpheme ness changes the adjective sad into a noun, sadness. Next is inflectional morpheme. They are not used to produce new words in the language, but rather to indicate aspects of the grammatical function of a word. They are used to show if a word is plural or singular, if it is past tense or not, or if it is comparative or possessive form. And let's have some more examples of inflectional morphemes. There are actually 8 inflectional morphemes in English language. See this example. Jim's two sisters are really different. One likes to have fun and is always laughing. The other liked to read as a child and has always taken things seriously. One is the loudest person in the house, the other is quieter than a mouse. See the ones that are written in blue color. These are the examples of inflectional morphemes. And you can see the details that in English language, all the inflectional morphemes are suffixes, as mentioned here: noun, verb, and adjective. All these 8 inflectional morphemes of English language are shown here. Okay, just like syntax, syntactical analysis, in morphology also we do morphological description or analysis of the words. For that, I have given you an example of the sentence, the students' carelessness surprised the teachers. I have divided the words into their morphemes, and each morpheme is actually giving some meaning. It is a meaningful unit. The is the article, and then it is a type of free morpheme. And which type of free morpheme? It is functional. Student is noun, free morpheme, and is a lexical morpheme. Apostrophe s shows possession, bound, and it is inflectional. Care, noun, free is lexical, less suffix, and ness are also suffixes. Surprise is a verb, free is lexical, and ed is suffix, it is bound, and it is showing the past tense, that is inflectional. The is article, free, and functional. So this is how we do morphological analysis. We divide the words first of all into different morphemes, and then we mention that which type of morpheme is there and what is their subcategory. This actually helps us in understanding how the words are structured and formed. So this takes us to the concept of studying the importance of morphology. Knowledge of meaning of word parts enhances the vocabulary. Knowledge of morpheme helps to make meaning understood from the text. Recognizing morpheme helps in reading quickly and accurately. And understanding of morphemes also helps in spelling prediction. So that's all about morphology. I hope you have understood. If you still have any question, you can mention in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.